So essentially, Koli, you're right. We are in Alexandra. In fact, very close to where we were when the last I was talking to you about these unrest. You know, that's the Pan Africa Mall. That's one of the malls that has essentially been destroyed. We were inside the mall with officials from the Human Rights Commission. I can tell you this, Koli, very few stores are operating inside that mall while others are still actually being fixed. You can tell then that there's people that actually lost their jobs. In the July unrest, we're told that there's over 100 shopping centers that were destroyed here in Gauteng as well as in KwaZulu-Natal. You remember this space, Koli? This space at the time was packed with hundreds and hundreds of people from Alexandra township, and you can see some of the shops have again reopened here in this particular complex. But as you enter this area, right at the beginning there used to be what's this bank? Capitec Bank, pardon me there, Koli. That bank has not opened there. That shop is still closed. What officials essentially are trying to do, Koli, is trying to look into the extent of the damage that was caused, interact with people that have been affected, and also see really what is it that must be done next. Remember, part of their investigations is to come up with recommendations as to how then do we, as the country, prevent something like the July unrest from happening again. One of the things that we have heard from those that have been giving evidence at those hearings was that part of what we saw was because of the poverty levels and the inequality. Currently now, you know, the human rights officials are actually being briefed by one of the local police officers. He's actually explaining to them how the police responded to those hundreds of people that were actually here. I want to see if Katlego can be able just to show you that interaction between human rights officials and that police officer who was at the scene at the time. He was explaining to them, Koli, how they tried to disperse the hundreds of people that had actually gathered here during that week. Let's just listen in just for a minute, Koli.
It goes with the issue of the detectives who knows that we as visible policing, for us to also arrest and put them there, and then from there, the issue of processing on date of court.
But then from your sense, though, was it an organized operation? This is one of the ATMs. Because you see, one thing which is very striking is that right through the country, President Gauteng, where there were malls, people are targeting the ATMs.
No,
take the ATMs out.
I can say they were having experience. Yeah, because it is not easy. Some of the ATM, they were just damaged and then they were left there, and then the companies who installed those things maybe from the side of the fence.
All right, Koli, one of the local police officers there interacting with officials from the Human Rights Commission. One of the things that was happening at the time, Koli, during those July unrests is that several ATMs were actually destroyed, and a lot of people that have given evidence in the Human Rights Commission hearings have said that this shows, Koli, that the people that were carrying out these attacks were actually, they knew what they were doing. They were well planned, and the fact that they targeted ATMs, they're saying that, in fact, yesterday, Mkolisi Kaunda was saying that no ordinary South African would know how to break an ATM, saying that there were interest groups that took advantage of what we saw in July last year. Koli?